Hey guys, what's going on? This is Seth from the RE Tipster blog, and I wanted to put together this little video for you guys just to let you know about this real estate crowdfunding website I learned about not long ago called EquityMultiple. The whole concept behind real estate crowdfunding and the reason why I think it might be worth your consideration, just in case you weren't already aware, is on my blog I talk a lot about real estate investing, buying and selling land, and rental properties, and these things are like running a full-blown legitimate business. And there's a lot of stuff you have to do when you're running a business like this. You got to find deals, you have to evaluate deals, sometimes you have to find the funding for it. Sometimes you might have to do improvements to the property, deal with tenants. There's just a lot of stuff that goes into running a legitimate, profitable real estate investing business. And a lot of us, we want to get involved with real estate investing, but we don't want to deal with all of that stuff. Like, it's just a lot of hats to wear. It's a lot of things to manage. And for some people, they already have the money or they already have the net worth and they want to get started, but they don't want to, dive into a whole new business venture. They just want to put the money in real estate and watch it appreciate or produce cash flow of some kind. And for those kind of people who just kind of want to take the laid back approach where they don't have to do all the hands-on work, something like EquityMultiple could be a really good fit, because essentially how this works is EquityMultiple, finds and vets deals, and then they present them to their investors, and the investors can invest their money in an actual property. And sometimes that investment is in the form of syndicated debt, where basically those funds are being used as a loan to a sponsor who is then, renovating the property or improving it in some way. So basically your money is essentially being used as a lending tool, and you can earn interest income from that. And sometimes your money can be used as actual equity into the property. So you're sort of like a part owner in that property by the nature of your investment through EquityMultiple. And if you've been following my YouTube channel for any length of time, you may know that, I've talked about other real estate crowdfunding platforms in the past, and a lot of them, they're kind of similar from a high-level perspective, but most of them vary in the way that they function. Some of them use what's called an EREIT, where they take all the money and pool it together and then put that money into a pool of properties. So you're not necessarily investing in any one specific property. And then others will actually require you to be an accredited investor. So essentially, you have to have a certain minimum level of income per year, or you have to have a certain minimum of net worth. And then once you're an accredited investor, you can invest your money usually in increments of $5,000 or $10,000 or higher into a specific property. And that's how EquityMultiple works. And EquityMultiple is actually one of the newer players in the market. They haven't been around a long time. I think they did their first deal back in September of 2015. And to date, at the time of this recording, I believe they've funded a couple dozen deals. And they almost always have one available for their investors to put their money into. Now, the properties are reviewed very much in the same way that a bank would review deals before they extend money in a commercial loan. It's just that it allows you as the investor to get in on it and invest your money and make the income from that investment. So, as you can see, this is their website. If you want to get started and sign up as an investor, all you got to do is obviously go here to get started. And then you're going to see this is like an exclusive invitation from the RE Tipster blog. So this is an affiliate link. I've actually already got an account, so I'm just going to go ahead and sign in and poke around and show you what this website's all about. So once you sign into your account, it's going to look something like this, and I have not invested anything yet, so that's why you don't see a whole lot of information here. But I just wanted to sort of poke around and show you some of the different information and investments you can get involved with if that's something you want to do. You can go over here to invest if you want to look at some of the deals that are on the market right now. In this one right here, it's a luxury condo conversion in West Hollywood. I was actually just looking at this last week, and it looks like it's closed out right now because they've got more than enough money to fund the whole project. But let's just take a quick look at this, just kind of see what information is available. And as you can see, it's a really beautiful website. It's very informative. There's lots of pictures, gives you a lot of data and just a lot of information about what the project entails, the projected internal rate of return, projected annual return, a really good investment summary, and more pictures there, investment timeline. This just kind of shows how long the deal is going to last and when investors can expect to get their money back. Some of the highlights here just shows some of the notable things about the project and the location and just the rental income that it's expected to generate and some of the comps out there. Sponsor overview. This is the entity that's actually doing the project, so you can kind of get more of the story behind the person who is getting this money and doing the project with it. Financials, there's a lot of really good information here. You can see some nice charts and explanations that show where your money is going and how that fits into the overall project. There's a projected distribution schedule, which just explains approximately when the returns are going to come back to the investors. And keep in mind, none of this stuff is guaranteed. As with any investment, there's always risk that things may not pan out exactly as planned. So you should totally bear that in mind if you ever decide to use anything like this. There's just no way of knowing for sure how it's all going to turn out. But that's part of the reason for this data, is to help support the assumptions that are made at the top of this page. So there's a property location and location overview, and then property overview, and the unit breakdown, so you can really understand what this property is all about and what's going on there. You can get a better look at the overall market and what's happening there, and then comparables in the area. So it's really just a very informative platform that gives a lot of detailed, helpful information. You can take a look at some of these past deals down here that are closed and funded and just kind of get a better look at how those have worked in the past. It really provides a lot of the same standard information for all these deals that just detail the total amount that they're seeking for EquityMultiple to fund, and also the total size of the project altogether. So really, EquityMultiple is just one piece of the overall pie, and then explains the length of the term, the projected annual return, the number of units in the portfolio, investment summary, pictures, highlights, sponsor overview. You'll also find throughout this entire thing, if you ever want to learn more, you can click on this and see even more information about the actual financials and what the pro forma looks like and some of the assumptions down here. And I can just tell you, from my nearly 10 years I spent in the banking business being an underwriter, I can tell you this really is what banks look at in order to make informed decisions on whether or not to move forward with projects. So it's pretty evident to me that these guys have their stuff together and they know what they're doing. And that's why I just wanted to put this video together to let you know, if you're someone who has money and you know you want to invest in real estate, but you don't necessarily want to do all of that hands-on drudgery yourself, this could totally be a worthwhile option to look at, just because they provide the platform and they make it very easy to get involved and make an informed decision. All you have to do is come to the table with your chunk of money and invest it into the project. Something else worth noting is that you can also use EquityMultiple to raise capital. So say if you are a real estate investor or developer and you're looking at some huge commercial project, you can go over here to the raise capital section of the website and enter in your information and, explore the possibility of getting funding for your deal as well. Personally, that's not something I'm ever really interested in doing myself. I'm more looking at the investing side of putting money into the deal. But if you're coming from a different perspective, just keep that in mind. This option is available as well. In terms of the timeline horizon, if you ever did invest money in one of these projects, I can say that for debt deals, the timeline is generally somewhere in the range of 6 to 12 months until the principal is repaid along with the loan's repayment. And preferred equity deals, it typically takes about 1 to 3 years to get your money back. And then with the common equity deals, there's a bit more variety depending on the sponsor's business plan and how the project is supposed to look. For ground up development, all principal and profits would be paid upon the sale, which usually takes about 2 to 4 years. And they don't have too many ground up projects because the lack of cash flow that comes with those makes them a little bit less appealing. But a lot of the deals have project plans that involve a refinance projected, so it's going to return most or all the investor's capital, and most of them involve some cash flow throughout the term of the deal. In terms of when you get paid as an investor throughout this process, for debt and preferred equity deals, the payments are typically monthly, and most of the equity deals do involve some kind of cash flow throughout most or all of the term, paid quarterly. And again, it kind of depends on the specifics of the project, but they do favor stabilized cash flowing assets. So that's something they definitely shoot for in the deals that they present to you. The average investor invests somewhere in the range of like 25 grand per deal, but usually you can invest as little as 5,000 or sometimes 10,000 depending on the project. But anyway, that kind of sums it up for just all the basics of EquityMultiple. Again, I just wanted to throw this out there for anybody who's looking to invest money in real estate the easy way without, doing all of the hard hands-on labor. This could totally be a viable way to do that. And again, you can check out the link beneath this video if you want to learn more. I'm also going to have a more detailed write-up including a lot more information about, what their underwriters look at when they're evaluating deals, and just some other helpful stuff that you might find interesting if you want to learn more about these guys. That's it. I just wanted to run that past you. If you hadn't heard of these guys, be sure to check them out. And thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again on the next video.